Why Uthman radiallahu an did it. And I mean, why did he burn down the Quran? This is a very misunderstood topic because, as you know, if there's no context provided in any matter, you get a bunch of yakhzib. It means lies, by the way. I don't know. I'm not Arab.
Sue me.
So I'll tell you what really happened. Listen carefully because it's context time. After Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, passed away, Abu Bakr became the Khalifa, aka leader of the land. A short time later, a battle broke down known as the Battle of Yamama, where many Hufaz, Sahaba, meaning memorizers of the Quran, lost their lives in the battlefield. This triggered a worry in Umar radiallahu anh, so he discussed it with Abu Bakr and suggested compiling the Quran. Because in fact, Quran was written in the time of Prophet, peace be upon him. Yeah, take that, Islamophobes. Eventually, Abu Bakr does agree to the idea and appointed Zayd bin Thabit in charge of compiling the Quran. If, in case of something were, supposing, assuming, somehow, inexplicably happened to everyone that memorized the Quran to die or disappear, then there would be at least a backup written version that compiled all the verses of the Quran, so that none of the verses would be forgotten later. This is how the Musaf has been compiled, written form of the Quran. This book was later inherited by Abu Bakr to Umar, then his daughter and one of the wives of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Hafsa, radiallahu anha. Thus, she'll be the last one to own this book right here, because now a different issue arises. Abu Bakr passes away. Then Umar becomes the leader and he passes away. Then Uthman becomes the leader. And in his time, Islam expands to other lands such as Persia, North Africa, Syria, Uzbekistan, etc. To separate the message of Islam to other nations, Uthman appoints Sahabas to travel and convey the word of Allah. Many became Muslims, of course. Numerous people accepted Islam and learned about the religion from their companions. Everything so far sounds pretty, alhamdulillah, right?
Yeah, boy.
Oh boy, indeed. Do you remember the Mus'haf that had been carefully compiled? Well, let's just say that wasn't the only one. There were other Mus'hafs that were written by other individual Sahabas from their own experience and what they heard from Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. This doesn't necessarily mean what was written down by other Sahabas was wrong. However, this caused issues such as having different dialects of written text of the Quran. Maybe some of you already know that Quran has been revealed with 7 dialects, meaning 7 ways of recitation. Even though the way you recite the Quran under these 7 dialects doesn't change the core meaning of the verse, it could be written differently on text, because if you read differently, then you write differently as well. So, which was confusing for new non-Arabic converts to understand the concept. The second issue was Sahabas were also adding their notes next to the verse they were reading. It's like me reading a verse from the Quran, then writing down the lesson I personally took from it without contradicting the verse. And this is fine if others don't confuse my notes with the verse from the Quran. Then it becomes a problem. People, however, who were new to Islam struggled with these issues, understandably. So, Uthman radiallahu anh took matters into his own hands and ordered the Sahaba from all regions to gather all the other Quranic materials, whether complete manuscripts or fragments, to be burned down, including his personal copy. Then he requested Hafsa, who had the Mus'haf of the fully written Quran, which has been carefully compiled and free from all other issues before, to borrow and use it to make a single version of the Quran with the help of who? Yes, you guessed it. Zayd bin Thabit. What I feel now should be given a context on why he has been requested by both caliphates to compile the Quran. Zayd was a personal scribe of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He wrote down many verses exactly as it was revealed in the time of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And he is also known for his exceptional trustworthiness, intelligence, and devotion to Islam. So he was an obvious choice to get the job done. Uthman discussed this issue with Zayd and decided to standardize the Quran by copying it into a single dialect, the original dialect of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Quraysh dialect. Then he copied this dialect version and distributed it to other Islamic nations. What were the motives of Abu Bakr and Uthman radiallahu anhum? Jannah.
This guy's pretty funny.
I mean, of course, come on. So, Abu Bakr preserved the Quran in the text due to the significant loss of Hufaz in the battle. He chose to preserve the Quran through the text next to its oral transmission. Uthman, on the other hand, focused on standardizing the Quranic text as Islam expanded into new territories by distributing a single, fully compiled version in a unified dialect and without containing any additional notes. Then, ordering the destruction of other Quranic materials, he prevented division among Muslims and united Islamic community around one authoritative text. May Allah bless them. They have done the right thing. إِنَّا نَحْنُ نَزَّلْنَا الذِّكْرَ وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ.